Welcome to In Focus on this Sunday, August 24th, 2025. I'm Lori Chung, filling in for Cheryl Wills. Today, we talk to Brooklyn Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. And on this Sunday, we discuss gun safety just a week after a mass shooting in Brooklyn killed 3. What Congress is doing to protect our communities. Plus, we break down various legislations to protect consumers from scams and improving our tech in the city. And later we learn more about the Congressional Black Caucus and the work it does for the nation. We'll have all of that and much more happening now. But first, let's take a look at a day in the life of Brooklyn Congresswoman Yvette Clarke.
Good morning. It's so wonderful to be home here in the 9th Congressional District of New York at the New Life Tabernacle Church, where we're going to be hosting an event for our seniors to talk about Social Security, the ways in which people can avail themselves of their Social Security benefits. Good morning, good morning. Hey everybody, good morning. Hey, how are you? This is a community comprised of various ethnic enclaves, so I visit various communities throughout the district, meet with a number of the organizations that are doing the work on the ground, whether it's dealing with food insecurity or housing, meet with my staff and make sure that everything they need is being deployed from Washington to make sure that they are able to address all of the issues that our constituents are facing in this moment. And it's just great to be home.
Such a pleasure to meet you. So good to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
I didn't realize you were going to be here today.
You know, how could you come to my house?
Let me say to Bishop Mitchell how honored I am to be back in this sanctuary where he is the pastor of this congregation and does such wonderful work, not only in the spiritual realm, but also meeting the needs of the people within the 9th District of New York. It is my privilege and honor to welcome you to today's informational session, Maximizing Social Security Benefits. As we prepare to commemorate the National Social Security Day, this is a program that reduces poverty in every single state across this nation. It has only ever kept food on the table and people in their homes. And though this may be news to some of the folks down in Washington with me, I know it isn't news to you. Social Security is an earned benefit, not a handout. We are in some very turbulent times, but that's when our unity, that's when our looking out for one another comes in most essentially. So I felt, you know, the energy coming from our seniors who are very concerned about the administration's approach to so many different things, including their Social Security, their Medicaid, their Medicare. And so it's heartening to know that people actually get it. As much as there is misinformation and disinformation and propaganda out there, our folks are focused on the facts and the truth. How you doing, darling?
I'm doing good, and you look
I'm
great.
good. Good to see
Great
you.
to see you. You know why I came. You know I came because I was so happy you're doing this.
Oh, such a pleasure. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Hello.
I just want to let you know that I used to work with your mom.
You used to work with my mom?
Yeah, 371.
Oh, yes. Wow, she's doing fabulous too. Mama's 90 now. My mom was a former elected official and a trailblazer in this community. And so whenever people see me, they have fond recollections of her. Oftentimes, they greet me by asking me how my mom's doing. They don't even ask about me. So, yes, ladies, how are you?
We are fine.
I can see that. You're looking well.
Thank you.
Yes. Mom is doing fabulous. Take care. See? There's a lot going on simultaneously, and you know, we have to be briefed on, you know, fast-moving events. And at the same time, we've already planned activities and opportunities to engage with the district. So this is regular for my scheduling.
Take care.
Let's begin today's conversation with Brooklyn Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Congresswoman Clarke, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. You represent the great borough of Brooklyn. That's where I'm from, so I'm partial. So I want to start there. You know, tragically, there was a mass shooting there last week. 13 people shot, 3 of them fatally, with multiple shooters involved. What would you say to people who maybe don't feel as safe as they used to walking down the street in Brooklyn?
I'd say that, we really have to come together as community. The shooters come from our community. They're raised in our community. And we're missing something when, young men become violent, get access to illegal firearms, and decide that they're going to settle the disputes by shooting and killing people. It's first, let me just say my condolences to the families who have lost loved ones, and that my prayers are with those who are recovering. That's traumatic. It's traumatic for all of us as Brooklynites, but too many of us have been exposed to gun violence. I reflect every time I hear about a shooting on the murder of my former colleague in the New York City Council, James E. Davis, and I was there the day he was gunned down. So I'm re-traumatized every time this occurs as well. We've got to do better. We've got to make the investments that are important in young people's lives to give them options outside of the things that they're choosing now that drive them, and primarily gangs, into this type of violent reaction and action in our communities.
I want to make sure I mention this is not just Brooklyn. This is just weeks after there was a shooting in Midtown that killed 4 people, including an NYPD officer, Darul Islam. Do you think the city has a gun problem, and what can we do to get guns off of our streets?
I think that there's several different circumstances under which we're seeing firearms trafficked into the city of New York. The gentleman who unfortunately killed Officer Islam was not a New Yorker, just drove into town with a semi-automatic rifle and unleashed a fury onto the people there in Midtown. There's a lot of work that needs to be done at the federal, the state, and the municipal level. And I will say that, the city and the state have really ramped up their sort of policies to mitigate as much as possible the incidents of gun violence in our communities. The federal government needs to do more. I was proud to see the work that President Joe Biden did with the Safer Communities Act, and that was 30 years in the making. And we didn't go as far as I believe we ought to. The type of cooperation and integration of intelligence and information about gun trafficking has not been solidified in my mind. There's no reason that we can't be doing more to stop these firearms from getting into the municipality, getting into the city of New York.
I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to talk about the late Lloyd Williams. We recently honored him here for Harlem Week, which ended last week. You said that he showcased the richness of Black culture, the excellence, the history. Now, you're a Brooklyn girl, of course, but of course you can recognize, real recognizes real, as they say. Tell me a little bit about, what his work meant to you and what you took from
I had
his
a
example.
personal relationship with Lloyd Williams, and we have done a lot of work together around culture. And, he was a champion for all things Harlem, all things Black people. And as a result of that, he just had a passion. He was driven, whether it was Harlem Week or it was international work that I know he did, touring the Caribbean community, the Caribbean itself. He was looking for ways to join businesses internationally. He was a real proponent for small business in Harlem under the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. And so, and he was just a very dear person, a very real man in every sense of the word, real. And he's going to be sorely missed, a real icon, a real icon.
Yeah, he will be missed, and like you mentioned, all of that work will certainly, the impact will be living with for
Absolutely.
decades to come.
Generations to come.
Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, thank you again. We'll be back with more, but we have more to come as well. We discuss some new legislations that would help boost our tech in the city. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us as we talk to Brooklyn Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. As you know, the House recently passed a bipartisan bill called the Promoting United States Wireless Leadership Act. Tell us a little more about what that does.
Well, we know that there's so many places across this nation that still remain disconnected from the internet. And we thought it was critical, given the technological revolution that we are all a part of, to connect the entire nation. And so this is a legislation that provides authorization and funding to finally get us all connected across this country.
It's just so important in this day and age to be unconnected. Is how do you function?
Exactly. Well, we found out during the pandemic what a cost it is to families.
Right. You also introduced the Smart Cities and Communities Act to expand smart city technologies and improve federal coordination. How will that help Brooklyn communities specifically?
Well, the revolution is here. The idea that we can connect so much of, whether it's our appliances, our vehicles, you name it, it's the Internet of Things, as they call it.
Right.
And with smart cities, we're able to bake efficiencies into everything we do. We're kind of stuck between a 20th century infrastructure and a 21st century infrastructure. And I have a vision, as many do, that we will get to a point where when we pull up to a light, we know, based on traffic flow and sensors in the roads, that we are going to be arriving at a particular destination in good time, right?
Right.
There's so many ways in which technology can facilitate efficiency in our lives. And that's what smart cities, smart communities will engage with. There's a real convergence right now between, of course, technological use and energy. And that convergence, again, will yield dividends to civil society once we complete making sure that, one, we're all connected, but two, we make the investments in our communities that enable us to be energy efficient, as well as be efficient in transportation and a whole host of other things that technology avails us of.
You're clearly thinking about efficiency, but you've also been thinking about the other side of this too, the scammers and the risk that we all take being so connected, because people on the other side are always looking for a way in to maybe take advantage. You reintroduced, I should say, the Consumer Online Payment Transparency and Integrity Act that would help protect people from scammers. Tell me a little bit about getting that more advanced and what that bill would do.
Well, it's a great bill, and I'm so happy that Senator Van Hollen has been my co-sponsor. This is I believe the second session that we are introducing this legislation. We want to make sure that people are safe online, full stop. And we know that the guardrails that protect consumers don't exist currently. Unfortunately, scammers are working night and day when we're doing, our chores and the things that we do to advance our families and our communities. These folks spend night and day figuring out how to defraud people, how to assume their identities, how to scam them out of hard-earned dollars. What this legislation would do is it makes sure that the Federal Trade Commission is really armed with the support it needs, the manpower it needs, and the resources it needs to really drill down into where these bad actors are impacting our communities. And it makes sure that we have a place, a safe haven, if you will, with the FTC to be able to give our complaints. One of the challenges for us right now is we know how widespread this is. We don't have the data. We don't have the data. People are ashamed oftentimes of being scammed. And again, it's an individual act.
Right.
So we just don't know how many individuals of the community.
And if you have the data, you can figure out how big of a problem is this. Where do we start?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm excited. Well, I mean, as we again embrace technology as a part of our lives, we have to make sure that we protect the American people from bad actors. Those actors can be right here in the United States, but we know that the internet is global, so it can be international as well. So the coordinating of federal entities, whether they're CIA or they're FBI, or their Department of Homeland Security, all of those agencies have the wherewithal to be able to protect the American people.
Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Okay, stay with us. And still to come, we have more. We'll learn more about what the Congressional Black Caucus is up to. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to In Focus. We have Brooklyn Congresswoman Yvette Clarke with us. You are the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Talk to us about what it means to take the helm of this institution.
Well, Lori, let me just say this. It's one of those experiences that, I dream of. It's an opportunity to coalesce among 62 members of both the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate combined. For the first time in the 119th session of Congress, we have 4 sitting senators of African American descent. And in the House of Representatives, we have 58 members. And so together, we're able to really zoom in on what we know are the needs, the desires, and the dreams and aspirations of people of African descent here in the United States of America. It's been a very challenging time with the Trump administration. We could not have imagined that we would be faced with the type of bigotry and racism and just out and out blatant hostility from this administration. But, I think that we're all called to leadership at certain times for certain reasons. And I believe that right now, the Congressional Black Caucus is in a very unique position, given its diversity, to really navigate Black folks through what is a very trying time. Our diversity is that when the CBC was first established, the Congressional Black Caucus, there was 13 members. Mm-hmm. Those 13 members came from majority minority districts. Here we are, fast forward to 2025. And while a number of us still represent majority minority districts, we have quite a few members who don't, who are the CBC presence in the communities that they represent, from Oregon to Rhode Island, from Colorado to Washington State. We have members all throughout the United States of America, and that diversity of lived experiences help us tremendously in policymaking.
That growth reflects the growth of the country. The caucus recently issued a statement responding to President Donald Trump seizing control of police in D.C. and essentially deploying the National Guard. They're saying that crime is really the reason that he's doing this, even though reports say crime is at a 30-year low, according to local officials. What do you think is behind the choice, if not what the president is saying?
Well, I mean, it's a power grab, if you will. It's this administration has made it clear that they are focused on unbridled power, and the power to be harmful, the power to direct resources to the wealthiest of the United States of America, while stripping the working class, the working poor, the middle class of access to the resources that have always made the American dream possible. And I just think that, it's baked with racism. There's no doubt about it in my mind, and certainly in the minds of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus and many Americans.
So you would say he's targeting minority communities or Black communities specifically?
Absolutely. There's no doubt in our minds that that's the case. When look at where Donald Trump has aimed his threats in terms of his political enemies, if you will. We see people like our own Attorney General, Tish James. We see the mayor of several cities across this nation that are being challenged and are being investigated and indicted. I have a colleague who's simply doing her job in Newark, New Jersey, who is now under indictment. Those are just the political ends of this. We can go down the list of institutions that are also being focused on and attacked. I think about the African American Museum of the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. Across the board, we can look at the way in which this administration has disregarded the Constitution and people's civil rights to move an agenda of harm and hurt with no sense of compassion at all.
Right. So work's cut out for the caucus.
Oh, we're in the midst of it. We're in the midst of it. There's a lot of work that we have to do in preparing our communities for what the big ugly bill will unleash. Right now, we're seeing some rural hospitals closing as a result of what they see will be coming down the pike with respect to Medicaid cuts, which was their lifeline. And cynically enough, the administration signed a bill that doesn't go into full effect until after the midterm elections. So, we have to educate, inform, engage on the ground in Black communities across this nation so folks are not only aware, but they know that they have the power to change the dynamics that we're living under.
Well, it certainly sounds like you have your work cut out with you, along with the caucus, and that you're up for it.
I'm up for it.
Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Lori.
Of course. Thanks for watching this special Day in the Life edition of In Focus. I'm Lori Chung. We appreciate you spending your Sunday with us.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. To keep up with important issues impacting our communities and hear more conversations with the people who are shaping the future, subscribe to our channel. You can also download our app or find Spectrum News on your TV for balanced, in-depth political coverage and more. We'll see you there.